Oke, so cikgu akan tunjukkan dulu itu video yang examples of impulse and impulsive force in our daily life before we continue our lessons.
Okay, applications of this increasing impulsive force. Okay, so football. Okay, if you kick the ball forcefully, okay, then this can reduce the reaction times and increase impulsive force. Okay, then you can make the ball move very far. Okay, and golf. Okay, if you use the golf clubs to hit the ball, okay, with a very strong force, okay, you can reduce a short reaction time, apply a short reaction times and large impulsive force on the ball. Okay, so to make the ball move very far. Okay, this is also an applications of impulsive force. Tennis also the same. Okay, short reaction times, big impulsive force. Martial arts. Okay, so short reaction times, huge impulsive force to break the brick. Okay, power driver. So these two are the power drivers. Okay, this is the power heads. So when the power heads hit on the power, this power. Okay, so the reaction time is very short. Okay, and also because this power driver. Okay, these power drivers has very big mass and therefore has a very big momentum. So, okay, so when it hit on the power, this power head hit on the powers, so there's a big momentum change in a very short times. Okay, so then this produces a huge impulsive force to drive the powers into the ground. Okay, power driver. Pestle and mortar. Okay, so this is pestle and this is a mortar. So we can see that they are very hard. So this, when you hit on it, the reaction time is very short. So this can produce a big impulsive force on the object that we want to break. Okay. Applications, impacts of reducing impulsive force. This one should be reducing. Just now is increasing. This is reducing. Okay, reducing impulsive force. Long jump. Okay, we have this sandpit. Okay, so this is to increase the reaction time. Increase the reaction time to reduce the impulsive force, so that it won't injure the player's leg. Okay, long jump. And a high jump. Sorry, high jump. We have a mattress. Okay, so this is also to increase the reaction times to reduce the impulsive force. Now, in exam, this may be asked. Okay, so this is the answer. Okay, that's that you should write. Okay, so why in high jump we need a mattress? Okay, because this is to increase the reaction times to reduce the impulsive force. Okay, when jumping from a high place, okay, you jump off from a high place. Okay, so usually we bend our leg. Okay, we bend our leg is to increase the reaction times to reduce the impacts of the impulsive force. Egg cartons. Okay, egg cartons also. Why we use a soft board? Okay, that is to increase the reaction time to reduce the impulsive force act on the egg. Okay.
Grammarly does more than count.
Oke, so itu video tadi sudah tunjuk. So, cikgu harap kamu paham itu dia punya application. Application of impulsive force, dia ada dua jenis kan. One is to increase the impulsive force is by shortening the time of impact. And the second one is by you reducing the impulsive force. Dia punya method is by increasing the time of impact. So itu ada dia punya dua cara, and usually this will be asked in paper 2 and also in the essay. Okay, so memang dia sangat popular yang itu topik impulsive force in exams. Alright, so we continue. Okay, so last week kita stop di sini yang calculation involving impulse and impulsive force. Okay, so Cikgu harap kamu sudah dapat buat itu latihan. Only a few of you send in your homework. Please try and do as your revision. Okay, so yang ini pun tidak juga begitu susah dia punya formula. It's just a combination of the previous formula. Dia start daripada formula apa itu? Coba kita refresh balik. Dia daripada formula apa? Dia starts from basically daripada formula acceleration. Okay, daripada tu formula acceleration. Okay, cikgu kasih apa di sini? Number one is formula for acceleration. Acceleration is rate of change of velocity. Okay, rate of change of velocity. The second formula is apa tuh? Formula untuk force. Formula untuk force is m times a, mass times acceleration. Okay, mass times acceleration. This one is, you can also expand the formula, becomes m v minus u over t. So actually yang ini adalah rate of change of momentum. Okay, and also known as Newton's second law of motion. Okay, yang ketiga itu adalah, the third one is about impulse and impulsive force. Okay, untuk impulse, you have two formula. Impulse is change of momentum. Okay, so kamu boleh tulis definition untuk impulse by referring to this part here. This one is change in momentum. Okay, so you can use that formula to calculate impulse, or you can also use this formula depending on the information given in the questions. So you can choose which formula to use to calculate the impulse. And the fourth one, impulsive force. Okay, the word force. So daripada tu yang formula number 3, yang impulse. So because the impulsive force kan, F. So yang ni T, kamu bawa pergi ke bawah. So it will become mv minus mu over T. Okay, rate of change of momentum. So daripada sini, we can see the relationship between force and also its time of impact. So if we want to increase the impulsive force, kalau kita mau increase, so we reduce the time of impact. And if we want to reduce the impulsive force, we increase the time of impact. So inilah saja dia punya formula yang kamu akan guna dalam dia punya calculation. Okay, and we have discussed the examples here. Okay, yang video tadi pun dia sudah kasih jelaskan dia punya application of impulsive force in our daily life. Okay, so nanti kamu baca balik itu, and then this one also the calculation. The important thing is you highlight or underline the information given in the questions, and then for any values, you have to convert the unit into SI unit first before you substitute into the formula. Okay, so macam yang Nina ni example dia, this one the mass is in gram, so you have to convert it into SI unit in kilogram before you substitute into the equation. Alright, so bila kamu dapat buat semua ini, you are able to extract the information correctly, then there should be no problem for you to answer the question, right? In paper 1, ada a few questions yang cikgu kasih soal about this impulsive force. Dia punya calculation. Should be okay lah. Not so hard. Kamu punya exam tidaklah begitu susah. Because 2 ni chapter sahaja nih. Only 2 chapters. Right? So the next one, the next and last topic that we are going to discuss today is about weight. About weight. In BM, weight adalah berat. Okay? Dan simbol untuk weight, we take the first letter. Symbol is W. Symbol is W. Right? So, referring to this photograph 2.11, that shows a man lifting a barbell. So, actually, there are 2 forces acting on the person. There are 2 forces acting on the person. Number 1 is dia punya apa? The weight. Number 1 is weight. And the other one is apa dia? Dia punya normal force. Normal force acting upwards. Okay, so we can see here the Earth's gravitational pull acting on the barbell contributes to the weight of the barbell. The weight of the barbell makes it difficult for the man to lift it. The barbell will drop to the ground with an acceleration if the man releases it. According to Newton's second law of motion, so ini kita pun sudah discuss Newton's second law of motion by using this formula, F equals to ma. So we can substitute yang dia punya F itu sebagai weight. Okay? We can substitute the force F as the weight. And the unit for weight is the same as force, which is Newton. Okay, kalau weight unit dia adalah Newton. Untuk mass, SI unit for mass is kilogram. So you have to differentiate between these two, mass and also weight. And the formula for weight is mass times gravitational acceleration, yaitu mg. Okay, mass times gravitational acceleration. So gravitational force acting on the barbell is its weight W. Acceleration of the barbell is gravitational acceleration G. So ini yang kita akan guna. So referring to this formula, W equals to mg, so we can get the unit or the value for the gravitational acceleration you can get by using this formula. Weight you divide by the mass. And the unit for G is Newton per kilogram, or you can also write the unit for gravitational acceleration as meter per second because dia adalah acceleration. So, meter per second square. Okay, so it has the same unit. Newton per kilogram or meter per second square. All right, so physical quantity G with unit Newton per kilogram is the gravitational field strength. Gravitational field strength. Gravitational field strength G is the force acting per unit mass caused by gravitational pull. For objects on the surface of the Earth, gravitational field strength G is this one. Kalau kita sini ni bumi ni, this is the value. 9.81 Newton per kilogram ataupun 9.81 meter per second square. This means that each 1 kilogram mass experiences a force of gravity of 9.81 Newton. Okay, so means that if you have a lot of mass, means you are getting heavier. All right. So for example, if your weight, if your mass is if your mass is 55 kilogram. If your mass is 55 kilogram, what is your weight on the surface of the earth? Coba kamu kira berapa? If your mass is 55 kilogram, so what is your weight on the surface of the earth? What is the value? Sudah? Sudah kira? Ya, betul Ian. Oke. 539.55 unit. What is the unit? Newton. Okay, ngam. Yeah, means you have to multiply with 9.81. Okay. So I'm going to show this one video. This is a photograph of an astronaut wearing a full spacesuit when exploring the moon. Sekarang pun kita sudah itu Perseverance yang sudah landed on planet Mars. Okay, so hopefully one day ada juga astronaut yang sampai di sana lah on the surface of Mars. Sekarang dorang baru yang itu dorang punya explorer punya machine yang baru landing sana Mars. So maybe in the near future ada sudah astronaut yang sampai di sana lah. Macam itu movie The Martian lah, kan? So I'm going to show you this video to show the astronauts movement on the moon. Okay, show you.
No, dadgummit. Jack Schmidt having a few problems. Hang on. Yeah. All right, good show. I told him you were. Well, okay. We see that one went all the way in. Not quite. But there he is, all but about 5 inches. Okay. Boy, do I like to run up here. You belong, but me, boy. Excuse me. Well, whatever you call it, you can't get my left leg in front of me. I'll give you a demonstration here, Joe. Roger, right on. spectacular demonstration. Oh, well, enough of that. Lovely. What was that a demonstration of, by the way? It started out to be of gravity, and it wound up being of centrifugal force, I think. I saw maybe landing. Man, no, you don't know how much. We concur, John.
Oke. So, kamu nampakkan juga tuh agak susah untuk itu astronaut, dia mau stand on his own feet di sana atas itu moon. Itu adalah disebabkan oleh apa tuh? Because the very weak gravitational pull of the moon on the astronaut. Kan? Dia balik-balik jatuh dan dia macam mana dia mau bergerak di apa tuh satu tempat tuh dia terpaksa lompat-lompat macam Bugs Bunny dia bilang kan. Ya, dia balik-balik jatuh. Balik-balik dia nakasadu di sana tuh. Terus dorang buatlah macam-macam activity macam dia doing push up, apalagi tuh dia mau umban tuh objek, jauh-jauh apa efek dia sama dia lah. So perlu apa nih? Agak susah, memang agak susah because dia punya gravitational acceleration itu is quite weak at the moon. Kamu tahu berapa dia punya value of the gravitational acceleration on the moon compared to Earth? Berapa value dia? Kalau di sana moon. Anyone know? Berapa value dia di sana bulan? Kalau di sana moon, cikgu buat begini. Kalau Earth, gravitational acceleration on Earth, cikgu letak GE. So value is 9.81 Newton per kilogram. Kalau di sana moon, cikgu letak sana M. Moon is 1/6 of the value of the Earth's gravitational acceleration. So value dia adalah 1/6, which is quite small. Coba kamu kira berapa dia punya value? 1/6. So lebih kurang 1.635 Newton per kilogram. Ya, itu dia punya value di sana. Kalau di atas 1.635 Newton per kilogram. Okay. And as you all know, kita punya first astronaut di Malaysia adalah Dato Dr. Sheikh Muzaffar Shukor. So itu dia punya nama di sana. And mana tahu satu hari nanti ada di antara kamu yang boleh pergi di sana NASA and jadi astronaut, pergi sana Mars lagi ataupun pergi planet lain. Manalah tahu kan? Okay. Okay, next page. Ya, ini dia punya next page na. So if you are given the question untuk calculate what is the weight of the astronaut on Earth and also when he is on the moon, so kamu hanya guna itu value. Okay, kalau di sana moon dia adalah 1/6. So you just have to times with your weight when you are on the surface of the Earth. Okay, itu so senang sajalah, right? Senang saja. So itu sajalah, habis sudah. So habis sudah. And then ada question juga in your exam, something like this one, yang activity 2.15. Especially in essay. Dalam soalan essay tu yang minta kamu buat dia punya modification, okay, modification question. Macam inilah contoh. Gather information on the application of Newton's laws of motion in the creation of cars. So give emphasis to the following: shape of the vehicle model. So usually kalau shape, what is the suitable shape for a car? Apa dia punya bentuk? Kalau ini soalan keluar. What is the shape? Kalau kereta lah kan, apa dia punya shape yang sesuai? Any idea? Sedan itu adalah dia punya jenis, ya apa dia punya shape? What is the shape? Itu shape dia adalah, you can say that the word is aerodynamic. Okay? Aerodynamic shape ataupun streamline. Streamline shape. What is the reason for you to choose this shape is because it will reduce the air resistance acting on the car. Reduce air resistance means the car will move faster forward. Kasi reduce itu drag juga lah, kan? Okay, so that is the reason why we choose this shape, aerodynamic ataupun streamline. Kalau ada soalan keluar, then you use this shape. Kamu tulis ini dia punya shape. Okay, next one, type of engine. Kalau type of engine, dia minta apa yang kamu akan tulis? Kasih general sajalah kalau type of engine, so you can put powerful engine. Reason is, what is the reason? For the car to be able to accelerate more. Okay, nanti jawapan kamu mesti yang even though dia adalah ringkas, tapi dia mesti tepat. Okay, mengikut dia punya konsep fizik yang betul. Transmission system, how? How is the transmission system? Suspension, steering system, braking system. Okay, itu semua kamu kena baca. Cikgu bagi clue saja. Cikgu bagi clue saja. Safety aspect. Safety aspect of driver and passengers. Mesti ada apa? Kalau safety aspect dalam tu kereta tu, we must have apa? Seat belt. Okay, for example, seat belt. What is the reason why we install seat belts inside the car? In terms of physics, apa sebab dia? Kenapa kita install itu seat belt? What is the reason? Any idea? Pasal apa? Inertia to reduce the effect of, boleh. Eric boleh. To reduce the chances of serious injuries. Okay, boleh. Satu lagi is, you can write the reason is to reduce the effect of inertia. When the vehicle suddenly stops, you won't be thrown forward. Okay, itu dia punya reason why you install seat belts. Okay, another one, airbags. Airbags, yes, you can write the reason is to reduce the chances of serious injuries, but in terms of physics concept, how? Coba kasih kaitkan dengan yang tadi impulsive force. So what is the reason why we install the airbag? Coba kasih kait dengan yang impulsive force. What is the reason? To apa? To lengthen atau to increase the time of impact so that the impulsive force will be reduced. Oke, itu dia punya reason. Ada lagi satu. Crumple zone. Kalau yang di kereta tuh dia gunakan perkataan crumple zone. Reason dia. Sama juga lah. To increase the time of impact so that the impulsive force will be reduced. Right? Yang D, aspects of comfort of driver and passengers in the vehicle. Apa yang perlu kita buat dengan inside the vehicle so that it will be comfortable for the driver and passengers. Apa kita mau tambah dalam untuk kereta? How is the seat? Macam mana dia punya tempat duduk? Keras, lembut, tebal, nipis? Kenapa nih tidak jawabannya? Semua? Apa yang semua? Pilih. Yalah, mana satu yang kamu pilih? Tebal kah, nipis kah, lembut kah, keras kah? Lembut. Oke, why we choose soft cushion? Kenapa kamu pilih soft cushion? What is the reason? Coba kasih kait dengan yang konsep fisik. You cannot simply put because it is comfortable. Itu tidak dapat markah. Mesti mau kasih kait dengan itu konsep fisik. Why you choose soft cushion? To apa? To increase? Yes, to increase time of impact and reduce impulsive force. Yalah, betul lah. Kan? Coba kamu bayangkan kalau yang kereta kamu itu dia punya tempat duduk diperbuat daripada kayu. Keras. Jadi bila kamu itu kereta dia bergerak di kawasan yang berbatu-batu, sakit kan? Because apa? Because the time of impact is short, so it will increase the impulsive force. That's why it will be quite painful for you to sit on a very hard cushion yang macam diperbuat daripada itu kayu, kan? Nah, itu dia punya reason. So you have to always kasih kait dia dengan yang konsep fisik for you to get marks, right? Type of fuel kamu guna apa? Guna apa? Oil, water? Oil. Okay, what is the reason why you use oil instead of water? Kenapa kita guna oil? Why? To accelerate the car? Not the not the reason that we are looking for. Kalau kita gunakan water as the fuel, it might make the pipes, exhaust pipes, and the pipes inside the car rust easily Okay, dia akan kasih karat itu besi yang digunakan dalam itu kereta. So dia berkarat lah, so lama-lama nanti dia akan bocor, and then ada leaking, then the car won't be able to function. Bila kamu tekan itu brake, then brake tidak makan sebab dia sudah bocor, right? And also if you use oil, itulah dia adalah it is more smooth and apalah better than itu water, because water is also very hard to be compressed, susah untuk dimampatkan. So when you press the brakes ataupun kamu press to accelerator of the car, susah untuk itu water dia mau kena compress, so it won't be efficient for you to use water. Okay, so itu dia punya reason. Kalau kamu letak to avoid damage, so you have to be specific. What is the damage kepada apa? To the pipes lah kan? To the pipes or exhaust pipes semua tu. Mesti mau kasih spesifik sedikit. Okay, so cikgu mau bincang sedikit itu dia punya contoh soalan yang akan contoh-contoh soalan dalam exam. Ya, contoh nanti cikgu share dalam grup juga. Okay, so ini dia punya contoh-contoh soalan yang objektif, yang mungkin keluarlah nanti cikgu share lah. Okay. Cikgu mau bincang untuk yang kertas 2 ini, contoh lah. Contoh macam ini. Ini dia punya situation. Okay, so diagram shows two similar eggs being dropped onto cement and sponge respectively. So kamu tahu di sini kalau yang ni di sana tu semen itu dia punya surface is hard and sponge surface is smooth. So the egg dropped onto the cement surface cracked after an impact, but not the one on the sponge. The velocity of the eggs just before reaching the surfaces is 4 meter per second. Okay, so kita tengok di sini tu dia punya, there is a difference in terms of dia punya type of surface and the impact on the egg. One is a hard surface and it will crack the egg, and the other one is a soft surface and it does not crack the egg. So dia punya first question sana, name the force involved during the impact in situation 1. Jadi kamu letak sana, kamu punya answer as impulsive force. So kamu mesti take note, kamu highlight ataupun underline dia punya keyword sana for you to answer the question correctly. Okay, and then second one, yang B, give one reason why the egg cracked in situation 1 but not in situation 2. And always refer to the marks given. Refer to the marks given so that you know how many sentences you should write. Okay, dalam exam nanti, cikgu mau kamu tulis kamu punya jawapan dalam point form, tetapi full sentence. 2 marks kan? So 2 marks means ada 2 point di sana yang kamu punya jawapan. So first point untuk kamu dapat dia punya markah is, okay, in situation 1, the impact time is short. Okay, impact time is short. T is short. So impact dia adalah apa? Impulsive force is big. Okay, itu dia punya cara untuk mau jawab. Dia mesti berpasangan. So you have to mention dia punya time of impact first and then the effect of the impulsive force. Poin kedua, itu yang dia tulisan itu, in situation 2, the impact time is longer. Impact time is longer and the impulsive force is smaller. So ini dia punya poin semua untuk kamu dapat dia punya markah. Tidak susah sebenarnya, as long as you know how to answer according to format. Right? And then question C, dia mesti ada sedikit soalan calculation. Mass of the egg is 0.02 kilogram. Okay, so kalau ada mass, kamu terus kasih letak di sana simbol is M. So you know which formula to use. Dia minta calculate the force acting on the egg if the egg stops 0.05 seconds after the impact with the cement. So ini dia mau force and also you are given time. F, this one is T. So kita gunakan formula untuk yang impulsive force. Untuk impulsive force, the formula is mv minus mu over T. Kan? Final velocity because the egg when it hits both of the surfaces means dia punya final velocity dia apa? Oh, sorry, initial velocity before it is dropped is 0. Okay, initial velocity is 0. Tadi sudah kena bagi dia punya velocity just before reaching the surface is 4 meter per second. Okay, so means yang Nina adalah V. So just substitute into the formula, then you will get the answer as 1.6 Newton. Okay, and then the same thing, dia akan tanya lagi yang soalan kedua tu the same thing lah, application of the impulsive force punya formula. So just substitute into the formula to get the correct answer. And remember to always put dia punya unit at the end. Without units, you won't get any marks. Okay? Next one. Untuk yang soalan number 2 ini. Okay, yang ticker tape. Okay, ticker tape. This one, a diagram 2 shows a ticker tape with 7 ticks obtained from an experiment. 7 ticks bermaksud apa? 7 ticks. How do you calculate 7 ticks? Is this one lah kan? 1. In between dot A and dot B, itu adalah 1 tick. And then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Biar betul nih, kenapa dia 7 ticks? It should be 6 ini. 7 dots. 7 dots. 6 ticks. 6 ticks ini. And then kalau ini, dia kasih tunjuk dia punya direction of motion, pointing to the left, bermaksud dia punya starting di mana? Starting dia adalah sebelah kiri. Sini adalah start, sini adalah end. Okay? Dan dia punya question sana tu, 1 tick is the time taken from, tu dia tanya, 1 tick is the time taken from A to B lah. A to B. And then question B, complete the following sentence by tick at the correct answer in the box provided. So the ticker tape can be analyzed to determine, apa yang kita boleh kira daripada tu ticker tape is, we can determine or analyze velocity. Yes, kita boleh apa untuk velocity and also acceleration. Both can be analyzed from the ticker tape. Okay, and then judging from the ticker tape shown just now, what is the type of motion? Kalau dia minta type of motion, then kamu bagi tahulah macam mana ya, constant acceleration kah, constant velocity, or zero acceleration kah, increasing velocity, kamu bagi tahu. So based on this one, kamu tengok. From point A to point G, kamu tengok itu dia punya distance between the dots. Dia increasing kan? Distance between the dots are increasing. So means that apa yang kita boleh letak sana dia punya type of motion. You can put apa? Constant acceleration ataupun increasing velocity. Kamu boleh letak sana answer sebagai constant acceleration ataupun increasing velocity. Okay, increasing velocity. Reason, betul, dia sudah bagi tahu sana lah. Velocity increase because the distance for ticks increases. Because the distance between the ticks increases. Boleh bagi tahu begitu. Okay, just short answer. Okay, yang ini. Okay. Name the force which acted between the cart, tire, and the road. So answer is frictional force. Kalau dia minta soalan, okay, nanti akan ada soalan yang minta kamu buat comparison, right? So you have to really analyze both of the diagrams given so that you can compare. Okay, so di sini dia minta compare the forces. Compare the forces applied by the porters that cause the cart to move forward. Jadi kamu boleh jawab. Kalau diagram 3.1, only one person is pulling the cart. Kalau diagram 3.2 ada 2 orang kan. So means dia punya force di sana diagram 3.1 is less than diagram 3.2. Kamu boleh jawab ini soalan kalau dia minta compare. Kan? Compare by using diagram 3.1 and diagram 3.2. Boleh letak di sana force in, kamu boleh guna simbol lah. Diagram 3.1 is less than in diagram 3.2. Okay, kamu boleh jawab dalam bentuk begini. Boleh guna itu simbol less than, greater than, or equal. Dan kamu bagi tahulah itu. Second one, okay, dia minta masih juga dia minta comparison. Compare the time taken. Compare the time taken to travel the same distance. So boleh letak sana macam yang tadi itulah. Kamu letak time taken in diagram 3.1 is apa? More than in diagram 3.2. Maksudnya yang sana diagram 3.1 tu yang satu orang tarik itu dia akan ambil masa lebih lama berbanding dengan yang di diagram 3.2 yang ada 2 orang tarik itu. Okay, yang third one, based on the answer in 3B2, compare the acceleration of the cart. Acceleration. So mana satu yang lebih accelerate? Which one has a higher acceleration? It should be the ones with the more people pulling the cart. So you can write like this lah. Okay. Kamu sama ada kamu tulis dalam bentuk ayat like this one, or you can choose to write by using the symbol. Also can. Dan kalau dia minta relate, alright. So kamu underline juga apa yang dia the two variables needed. Relate the force. Okay, force dengan acceleration. So what is the relationship between this force and the acceleration? Force kita tahu simbol adalah F. Acceleration is A. So what is the relationship between these two? Ini kita masih ingat daripada ini formula. Kan? F equals to MA. So F dengan A. What is the relationship between F dengan A? So you can either write your answer like this one. The greater the force applied, the greater the acceleration. Boleh. Ataupun boleh juga kamu letak begini ya. If the force increases, then the acceleration also increases. Ataupun kalau kamu boleh letak dia begini. Force is directly proportional to acceleration. Also can. Sebab dia minta relationship, relate. Means you are going to write the relationship between the two variables. Okay. Name the physics law involved in 3B4. So kalau formula F equals to ma, it is referring to mana satu? Dia minta law kan? Dia minta law. So maksudnya dia adalah Newton's second law of motion. Kalau first law, dia adalah pasal inertia. Second law is about F equals to ma. Third law of motion is about action, reaction. So remember that. Ada masalah setakat ni? Ini perbincangan? Is there any problem so far? Tidak? Okay. Next, Cikgu mau discuss untuk yang dia punya bahagian essay. Examples of essay question is like this one. So you have to compare what is the difference between the two diagrams, the effect there, what are the variables involved, okay, so that you can relate apa dia punya perkaitan di antara itu variables yang terlibat. So you have to really read dia punya questions di sana. So diagram 4.1 shows two high jumpers, Ali and Ahmad of equal mass. Okay, dia bagi tahu sini equal mass, jumping over the pole of the same height. Diagram 4.2 shows the state of the high jumpers when they hit the hard mattress and the soft mattress respectively. So kalau kamu nampak itu perkataan hard dengan soft means it is referring to impulsive force. It is observed that Ali comes to a stop more quickly when he lands on the hard mattress compared to Ahmad. Okay, so itu dia punya inference dia. Okay, so dalam essay question, dia akan tanya kamu definition. Dia mesti akan tanya kamu definition. So you have to memorize or understand some of the definitions that we have been discussing previously in our lessons. Okay, so kamu kena rujuk balik ya. What is the meaning of impulsive force? What is the meaning of impulsive force? Formula kalau impulsive force ini kan, ini adalah formula untuk impulsive force. mv minus mu over t. So actually based on this formula, it is a clue for you to write the definition. So impulsive force adalah apa? Rate of change of momentum. Itu je. As long as you know the punya formula, then actually there is no problem for you to write the definition. Okay, rate of change of momentum. Then yang kedua tu, observe diagram 4.1 and diagram 4.2. Compare. Ini ada 4 marks. Ada 4 marks. So you have to extract what are the information that the question wants you to write. So dia mesti ada 4. 4 marker means there should be 4 points for you to write. So itulah penting di sini kamu guna highlighter kah ataupun guna pembaris and then to extract the information. Okay, so for example in this question, compare the surface of the hard mattress and the surface of the soft mattress before and when both Ali and Ahmad land on the respective mattress. Okay, ini kalau before 1, Ini when both land. 2. Relate the changes in the shape of surface of the matrices. 3. And then deduce a relevant physics concept. Itu 4. So jawaban kamu jawab dalam bentuk point 4 kan? Nah, jawab dalam bentuk point. Tapi mesti full sentence. Full sentence. First point apa? Apa yang boleh kamu tulis untuk yang first point? Compare the surface of the hard mattress and the surface of the soft mattress before Ali and Ahmad land on it. Sebelum. Macam mana itu keadaan permukaan itu kedua-dua tilam? Macam mana? How? How do you write the answer? Any idea? Okay, dia punya first point di sana is apa? When Ali hits the surface of the hard mattress, the time of impact is short. This causes a large impulsive force. Okay, itu baru satu. Yang kedua, pasal Ahmad. Apa yang kita boleh tulis sana kalau pasal si Ahmad? When Ahmad hits the surface of the soft mattress, the time of impact is increase. This causes a smaller impulsive force. Okay, jadi sudah dapatlah 3 markah. And then dia punya relationship apa? Dan konsep dia. Apa konsep ini? Berkenaan dengan impulsive force kan? So impulsive force is inversely proportional to the time of impact. So itu dia punya contoh jawapan. Kamu tidak payah tulis kamu punya jawapan kan panjang-panjang. Jangan. Biar tulis dalam bentuk point form tapi full sentence. Ringkas, tepat, dan padat. Itu yang cikgu mau kamu tulis nanti. Oke? Kemudian soalan B. Soalan B dia itu, based on the inertia concept, explain why the driver stumbles forward when the car he drives suddenly stops. So itu kita kena guna konsep inertia. Jadi kamu mesti mau explain how and why. Ada 4 markah juga, so means kan setiap satu bahagian itu ada 2 markah. 2 markah. Dan bagi tahulah apa, why. This is because initially the driver is moving together with the car at constant velocity. So when the car stops suddenly, the inertia of the driver tends to continue his forward motion. This causes the driver to fall forward. Okay, so itu 2 markah. Dan yang soalan kedua dia tu, describe and explain the steps that can be taken to prevent the situation above. So apa yang kita boleh buat? Kita pakai apa? Seat belt lah kan? And then what is the reason why we use seat belt is to reduce the effect of inertia ataupun to pull him back from the forward motion to reduce injury. Boleh ya? As long as ada konsep inertia sana yang kamu letak. Oke, kemudian yang ini 10 markah. Ya, contohnya macam yang ini kan, yang essay ini 10 markah. Diagram 4.3 shows a water rocket made of 1.5 liter plastic water bottle by adding water and air pressure for launch. The main objective of rocket launch is to keep the rocket in the air for as long as possible. For as long as possible. Using the appropriate physics concept, suggest and explain the design of the rocket in terms of the shape, structure, acceleration, buoyant force, and motion stability. Okay, kalau untuk ini, kamu jawab dalam bentuk table. Answer in table form. Okay, answer in table form. So, kamu buat 3 columns, 2 ataupun 3 columns. Okay. Untuk sini adalah dia punya aspek. Aspek you can get from this one. Ada 5. So each one ada berlainan lah. Kan? 2, 3, sampai yang ke 5. Okay. Ini yang sini adalah your suggestion. Suggestions and explanation. Your explanation. Right? Mesti dalam table form. Mesti dalam table form. So number 1 aspect is shape. Apa kita mau letak sana? What is your suggestion for the shape? Cuba bagi cikgu respon. What is the shape of the water rocket? Apa yang sesuai? Tadi ada cikgu cakap tu. Masa kita bincang.
Aerodynamic.
Okay, ngam. Aerodynamic shape. Okay? Kamu boleh letak sana lah, aerodynamic shape. And then what is the reason? What is the explanation why you suggest aerodynamic shape? What reason ya? To reduce?
Reduce air resistance.
Okay. To reduce air resistance. Okay, ngam. So sudah dapat 2 marks. 1 mark for your suggestion and 1 mark for your explanation. Okay, so tidak payah tulis panjang-panjang. Okay, the second aspect, the structure. Second aspect, the structure. What do you suggest? The water rocket is filled with apa?
Compressed air and water.
Compressed air and water. And then the volume of the water, does it need to be filled fully or only 1/3 or 2/3 of the water bottle? Which one is better? If you fill in the water inside the bottle kan, full, what is the effect? And also you have to think about the effect of the water bottle. If you fill it up only 2/3, which one is better? Kasih isi dia full ataupun kasih isi 2/3 sahaja, 2/3?
2/3.
Okay, 2/3. 2/3. What is the reason? It is for, if you fill it up full, the mass will increase. If you fill it up, kasih full dia, the mass will be increased and the water rocket will be heavier and it is hard for it to accelerate upwards. So only fill it up to only 2/3 of the volume of the water rocket. So that, betul lah, Sean bilang to less weight. Less weight, so more acceleration, it will be able to accelerate upwards. Okay, so itu dia punya explanation, suggestion and also explanation. Okay, the third one, acceleration. The third aspect is about acceleration. How? How do you suggest? Of course, kita mau dia punya acceleration is high, but how do we obtain the high acceleration? What do we do with the structure, with the mass of the rocket? Kasih dia apa? Smaller mass lah kan? Smaller mass of the water rocket. Explanation is to increase the acceleration. Itu saja, simple. Fourth aspect is about buoyant force. Because we want the rocket to be in the air for as long as possible. So yang fourth aspect dia tu is about buoyant force. So how do we want to maintain the rocket in air for as long as possible? What do we suggest? What do we suggest to be installed on the water bottle, on the water rocket? Kita letak apa? Letak apa? Ingat balik yang cikgu skydiving tuh. Install apa? Parachute, betul. Parachute lah. Install parachute on the cone of the water rocket. So that apa? Explanation is buoyant force can be increased. Terus je lah dia punya reason. Buoyant force can be increased. Install parachute. Reason is the buoyant force can be increased. Or it can, the water rocket can stay in the air for as long as possible. Okay, yang kelima, motion stability. Motion stability. Apa yang kamu perlu buat dengan itu water rocket? What do you suggest for it to be stable on the air? Install apa?
Fins. Install fins.
Install fins, betul. Nina kan ada dia punya fins sana tuh. Install fins around the water bottle. Okay, reason is, explanation is, it can stabilize the movement. Itu saja. Can stabilize the movement by balancing the rocket to launch with stable motion. Okay, so sudah dapat 10 markah di sana. Okay, there's another one. Ada satu lagi dia punya contoh sini. Dalam bentuk begini, you have to choose which one. Yang lain-lain itu ada biasa saja. Okay, dia punya definition, dia punya reasoning, and calculation itu biasa saja. But then this one, I want to discuss on how to answer yang essay yang bentuk begini. Yang kamu perlu pilih, which one is the most suitable choice. So, for example, ini adalah untuk for a car, brake system of a car, right? So, you are required to analyze 4 types of brake system features and determine the type of car that has the best braking system. So, you are given 4 brake system, P, Q, R, and S. Ini juga kamu perlu jawab dalam bentuk table. Okay, dalam bentuk table. So, kamu pilih buat 3 lah. Aspect, your choice, explanation. Okay, your choice and explanation. Aspect dia ada 4. So, you can refer, pergi yang sini bawah lah. Ada 4. The boiling point of the brake fluid, thickness, ratio, and also type of brake for front wheel. So, ada 4. 4 aspect. And then your choice, what is your choice? Untuk boiling point of the brake fluid, which one should you choose? High ataupun low? Okay, jadi kamu letak di sana, for example, this one is the boiling point kan? Your choice is you choose high. Okay, kamu buat beginilah. Kalau kamu choose high, then you take first, mana satu yang ada high di sana? High. Reason is, why you choose high boiling point? So that it won't boil easily. The brake fluid won't boil easily. Okay, itu dia punya reason. Okay, second one, thickness of brake line. Kita pilih apa tuh kalau thickness of brake line? Should be thin ataupun thick? Kita pilih yang mana satu? Thickness of brake line. Itu brake ba? This brake dia itu. Kita mau dia nipis kah ataupun tebal? Mana satu? Huh? Which one? Mbak jawab, nanti tidak habis nih. Kalau yang brake, dia mesti adalah thick. Yes, thick. You have to choose thick. Okay, thick, thick. Okay. Reason is because why we choose thick brake line is it can withstand high pressure. It can withstand high pressure. Again, yang third aspect, ratio of cross-sectional area for wheel piston and master piston. Okay, sini actually dia punya apa? Answer is high. High ratio. Reason is because a greater force can be applied. Greater force can be applied to the piston wheel. And then yang fourth aspect is type of brake for front wheel. Type of brake adalah kita guna disc brake. Disc brake. Reason is it is more effective and efficient than drum brakes. Oke, kalau kita tengok sini kan semua yang sudah kena tick itu, we can see that brake system Q semua ada tick. Semua ada tick. So last kali kan untuk yang dua markah terakhir tuh kamu tulislah. I chose brake system Q. Brake system Q. Reason, kamu bagi tahu lah, because apa? Kamu bagi tahu balik. Because boiling point of the brake fluid is high, comma, thickness of brake line is thick, ratio is high, and type of brake for front wheel is disc brake. So dapat 10 markah. So actually kan untuk most score in the physics, it is not that hard. Dia punya key adalah answer according to format. Itu saja. Yang calculation semua tu adalah biasa-biasa sahaja, using yang formula biasa. Should be no problem lah. Okay. And nanti cikgu kasih apa ni forward di sana group. Any more question? Any more question before we end our session today? Essay ada 2. Both mesti kena jawab. Objektif ada 10 soalan, 10. Dalam paper 1 ada 40 questions, objektif, 40 questions. Paper 2 ada 3 section. Section A ada 8 questions subjektif, macam yang kita bincang tadi tu. Essay, section B 1, section C 1. Semua wajib jawab. Okay, semua wajib jawab. Paper 3 eksperimen, tapi bukan eksperimen on the lab, only yang secara teori lah. And then read yang pasal pendulum tu, pendulum experiment, and also inertia punya experiment. That one will come out, right? Itu sajalah. So total markah tu semua will be 170. 170. 40 plus 100 plus 30. So total adalah 170. Okay. Ada lagi question? Nanti mesti buat revision. Tidak soalan sudah? Right? Kalau tidak soalan sudah, nanti anything you just PM me. Okay. Okay, so itu saja for today. Right, thank you everyone.
Thank you, teacher.
Okay, thank you.